Coming up on The Rocks, an update on the Zoom bombing attack.
COVID testing is underway here at SRU. We'll have all you need to know.
And we're going to take a trip to Mars. All this and more coming right up on The Rocks. Welcome back to On the Rocks. I'm Mac Bell.
And I'm Joe Wells, filling in for Madison Williams.
We start our show with an update about the recent Zoom bombing attack on SRU students. In an email sent to SRU stakeholders last Monday, President Barry informed the university of a racist Zoom bombing attack that took place on Saturday, February 13th. Alpha Kappa Alpha was hosting a poetry and sip event as part of the university's Black History Month scheduled events. Around 12 Zoom bombers joined the call using racial slurs and playing an explicit video. Since the Zoom bombing 11 days ago, President Barry has sent out 2 follow-up emails. One of them was an announcement of a monthly virtual open forum that started this past Monday.
At the open forum Monday night, President Barry was joined with 10 other administration members. Monday's meeting saw around 200 students join virtually, which allowed them to ask direct questions to the administration about the Zoom bombing, the investigation, communication channels open to the students, and what the university has planned to keep the discussion going. The other forums are set to take place in March with a focus on intersectionality, and then again in April with the university's diversity strategic plan as the topic.
President Barry's other email touched on the investigation of the event. In addition to SRU Campus Police, SRU's Information and Administrative Technology Services, Butler County District Attorney's Office, Pennsylvania State Police, and the FBI have all been involved with the investigation thus far. At Monday night's open forum, President Barry added that they were also working with Penn State University Police as there might be a possible connection with their recent Zoom bombing as well.
Our Zoom bombing looked eerily similar to one of the Penn State Zoom bombings in terms of screen names used and IP addresses used. We are in some ways at the mercy of state police and the FBI to get more information about that. I have actually asked Dr. Mohammadi and Dr. Wilmus to reach out to their peers at some of the other institutions to try to begin to gather some of this data so that we can have a richer experience, and they're in the process of having those conversations.
Since the Zoom bombing attack here on Slippery Rock students, the country has seen similar virtual attacks at other universities. Penn State University, Penn State's Brady-Wine branch, Rutgers University, Rider University, and New Jersey Institute of Technology all had similar Black History Month events Zoom bombed. In addition to those, Wyoming University also reported a Zoom bombing of a movie panel discussion this past Monday.
With the recent Zoom bombing attacks here and at other universities, we reached out to Zoom for comment. They said, and I quote, "We have been deeply upset to hear about these types of incidents, and Zoom strongly condemns such behavior. We have recently updated a number of default settings and added features to help hosts more easily access in-meeting security controls, including controlling screen sharing, removing and reporting participants, and locking meetings, and among other actions. We have also been educating users on security and the best practices for setting up their meetings, including recommending that users avoid sharing private meeting links and passwords publicly on websites, social media, or other public forums, and encouraging anyone hosting large-scale or public events to utilize Zoom's webinar solution. We are committed to maintaining an equal, respectful, and inclusive online environment for all of our users. We take our meeting disruptions extremely seriously, and where appropriate, we work closely with law enforcement authorities. We encourage users to report any incidents of this kind to Zoom and law enforcement authorities so the appropriate action can be taken against offenders." As more information comes out about the Zoom bombing investigation, we will keep you updated.
And after a quick commercial break, we'll have your COVID-19 update. Stick around.
Do you remember when you were told to sit still? Walk, don't run. Don't sit too close to the screen. Don't touch that. Color inside the lines. At Slippery Rock, we inspire the motion, the music, and the moments of challenge that allow you to be your best, now and in the future. Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or some place happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you're pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better.
Check out our studio!
Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Go Rock! Do you remember when you were told not to play with fire? You were told to be quiet. When they said caring wasn't in your generation's DNA. When they said stop playing with toys. Do you remember when they said stop dreaming? At Slippery Rock, we inspire the dreams, the noise, the caring to challenge you to be your best, now and in the future. Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or someplace happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you are pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better. Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Welcome back to On the Rocks. Here's the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic. On Monday, the United States passed 500,000 deaths to the coronavirus, marking 100,000 deaths between January 20th and February 22nd. President Joe Biden spoke Monday afternoon on the death toll hitting 500,000. The president said, quote, "Each day I receive a small card in my pocket that I carry with me in my schedule. It shows the number of Americans who have been infected or died from COVID-19. Today we mark a truly grim, heartbreaking milestone, 500,071 dead. That's more Americans who have died in 1 year of this pandemic than in the World War I, World War II, and the Vietnam War combined. The more lives lost to this virus than any other nation on earth." As we take a look, here is the updated numbers for the Slippery Rock University. We currently have 3 cases from students between February 16th and the 22nd. From staff, we have had no new reported cases, and in Butler County, we have seen 10 new reported cases.
And now for a testing update. Daily COVID testing got started this past Monday at the Student Union. Starting March 1st, all students whose last names fall between A and J will fall under the green schedule. Students with last names between K and Z will follow the white schedule. The program was supposed to start last week, but had to be delayed a week due to a software issue. All students will be able to get tested bi-weekly for the remainder of the semester. It should be noted that students will need to not eat or drink anything 1 hour before their test, and that includes brushing your teeth.
And after a brief hiatus, sports testing resumed last Monday. Testing stopped on February 10th as Virus Geeks, the testing company contracted by the university specifically for student athletes, and SRU mutually agreed to end the contract, leaving the university to change vendors. This testing stoppage did not halt sports practices. The NCAA requires at least 25% of student athletes to be tested every 2 weeks. Rock Athletics attained that requirement before the stoppage and had enough eligibility in between the vendor switch.
As the COVID-19 vaccine rollout ramps up across the country, Pennsylvania officials are facing a shortage of second doses due to errors by providers. Officials last week could not say what caused an error where some providers were administering second doses of the Moderna vaccine to first-time recipients. They estimate more than 100,000 people could be waiting days to weeks to receive the second dose. But they are all confident that they would receive the dose within the CDC's allowed time frame of 42 days from the first dose. With a temporary vaccine shortage, the Pennsylvania Health Department is also looking to limit the number of vendors administering the vaccine to those capable of vaccinating large numbers of people. The health department website lists over 1,000 vendors that are authorized to distribute the vaccine, including 14 in Butler County. But Acting Secretary Allison Beam would like to see that number shrink to 200 to 300 hospitals and pharmacies capable of administering large numbers of the vaccine until the supply can increase. Over in West Virginia, they are ranked in the top 3 for vaccine distribution, while Pennsylvania is ranked 45th. Daniel Sedor-Franzak had the opportunity to interview someone who's been vaccinated here in PA and asked to what they attribute the disparity between the 2 neighboring states.
I think that the way in which the registration occurs for vaccinations is completely different in Pennsylvania than it is in West Virginia. In Pennsylvania, you need to sign on to a variety of different websites, ranging from small community-based pharmacies to larger pharmacies to the counties, in order to try to secure an appointment for your vaccine. In West Virginia, there's a one-time registration or pre-registration, as it's called, for anyone who wants to get the vaccine eventually. And the information that's gathered there is age, demographics, as well as any pre-existing conditions and occupation. So it's almost a full-time job to be trying to secure a vaccine spot. In West Virginia, you simply indicate that if you're over 16 and you want the vaccine whenever it becomes available, that you're interested, and they contact you to schedule that vaccine. I am lucky enough to work in healthcare, and that was the way it was handled for me. I simply indicated an interest, and when my turn came up, based on my birthday and medical history, as well as my occupation, I was contacted. And I think if they had done that statewide in Pennsylvania, it would have allayed a lot of the anxiety around trying to get these vaccine appointments. And in West Virginia, they followed that model.
We'll be right back with your SGA update after this commercial break.
With SRU President Barry's discussion set to take place shortly after the Student Government Association's meeting, SGA President Joey Sudo worked to get through a packed agenda to ensure the body could attend. Before diving into agenda items, Special Assistant to President Barry, Terrence Mitchell, addressed the Senate to introduce himself and talk about what he does at SRU. Along with highlighting the Zoom bombing discussion to be held, he also informed students he would be working to bring 2 mental health professionals to campus to assist with students and any self-care needs they may have. Dates of availability and registration information is to be released in the coming days. Moving into agenda items, the Senate body voted on a new Speaker of the Senate. The seat previously held by former Speaker Kyle Maynor was vacated at the start of the semester. Senators Hannah DeGidio and Caleb Covey both applied to the position. After brief introductions and remarks by the Executive Board as to the qualifications of the applicants, Senator DeGidio was appointed at a vote of 20 to 10. After the meeting, Speaker DeGidio released the following statement: "I am honored to be elected and confirmed in this position. As the Speaker, I plan on meeting regularly with current Senate members to improve the function of the Senate and create a welcoming community that will encourage more students to join us in the future." DeGidio will hold the position until the end of the semester. Before then, elections for a new E-Board will take place. Senator Madison King, who chairs the Elections Commission, announced a timeline for the upcoming event. Applications will be open from March 1st to the 19th, and candidates eligible to run will begin campaigning on March 29th. Application information can be found on CORE. And before voting begins on April 5th, the Rocket and WSRU-TV will host a candidate forum on March 30th. Before wrapping up the night, the Senate body approved 5 financial measures totaling more than $260,000 in funding. Over half that amount went to cooperative activities that requested the rest of its previously cut budget due to the pandemic. Rock the Weekend and the Flute Ensemble also requested amounts equal to their full budgets in order to continue hosting events. The rest of the amounts went towards paying for insurance policies and fully funding the Happy Bus. And the Senate also approved conference grants for the SGA and Pennsylvania Collegiate Music Educators Association in the amount of $500 each. The Senate also tabled 2 bylaw amendments that were from the previous formal meeting until wording can be finalized. And that's all for your SGA update. We're going to toss it to a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back for an esports update, Texas weather, and more.
Do you remember when you were told to sit still? Walk, don't run. Don't sit too close to the screen. Don't touch that. Color inside the lines. At Slippery Rock, we inspire the motion, the music, and the moments of challenge that allow you to be your best, now and in the future. Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Of the devastation that a series of back-to-back winter storms starting on February 10th through the 17th have had on the state of Texas. The 2 winter storms caused massive power outages, which resulted in food and water shortages. These outages are attributed to frozen pipelines that transported fuel to the Texas power grid. Images like this one from the Texas Tribune are very telling as to just how bad the situation was down in Texas. While Texas is healing from their severe winter weather systems, over here in Slippery Rock, we saw our fair share of winter weather all last week. However, the systems did not bring as much snow as was initially anticipated. What started as a projection of at least a foot turned out to be no more than 4 to 6 inches.
And this week, the SRU Esports Club geared up with their brand new custom-made jerseys. Over 20 of SRU's best esports competitors have ordered a jersey with their in-game alias on the back. The club sport has chosen to order these pristine jerseys from the well-known apparel production company Acquire. The esports club had originally began the process for ordering back in March of 2020, but it was delayed due to the pandemic. On the topic of esports, this week will be the last week that players can sign up for the first of 3 esport PASHY-wide tournaments. First prize for each event is $150, and the total prize pool for all 3 events is $500. The Mario Kart 8 bracket will be played out this coming Sunday, the 28th. Be sure to reserve your spot today at challenge.com/events/PASHY. And we'll be right back. Make sure to stick around as we have updates on SRU sports and the professionals.
Do you remember when you were told to sit still? Walk, don't run. Don't sit too close to the screen. Don't touch that. Color inside the lines. At Slippery Rock, we inspire the motion, the music, and the moments of challenge that allow you to be your best, now and in the future. Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or some place happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you're pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better.
Check out our studio!
Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Go Rock! Do you remember when you were told not to play with fire? You were told to be quiet. When they said caring wasn't in your generation's DNA. When they said stop playing with toys. Do you remember when they said stop dreaming? At Slippery Rock, we inspire the dreams, the noise, the caring to challenge you to be your best, now and in the future. Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or someplace happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you are pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better. Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Pittsburgh Penguins are turning things around a bit as they have won 5 of their last 6 games, including 3 straight, defeating the Capitals 2 out of 3 games as well. It still seems overtime is a huge benefit to the Penguins as their past 2 road wins have come in overtime or a shootout. On Saturday, Penguins legend Sidney Crosby played his 1,000th NHL game, all of which were with Pittsburgh. The Pens look to keep the streak going as they take on the Capitals again tomorrow night.
Things are starting to kick off on the baseball diamond as most teams reported on Monday for day 1 of spring training. Spring games will get underway starting this Sunday. The Pittsburgh Pirates, who train in Florida, will take on the Orioles, while the Cleveland Indians, who train in Arizona, will host Ohio counterpart, the Cincinnati Reds.
And professional golfer Tiger Woods was in a horrific single-vehicle accident yesterday morning. However, a message on Woods' Twitter earlier this morning announced that Woods is currently awake and responsive and recovering from surgery after suffering open compound fractures in his legs, meaning that the bone was protruding out of the skin. Woods also had open fractures affecting both the upper and lower portions of the tibia and fibula bones, which were stabilized by inserting a rod. Lastly, additional injuries to the foot and ankle area were stabilized with a combination of screws and pins. This comes as the 45-year-old professional golfer was trapped inside his SUV early yesterday morning. The vehicle had rolled over, according to LA County Sheriff's Twitter account. Mr. Woods was extracted from the wreck with the jaws of life by the Los Angeles County firefighters and paramedics, then transported to local hospital by ambulance for his injuries. His agent, Mark Steinberg, later confirmed that Woods did suffer multiple leg injuries and was taken for surgery Tuesday afternoon. Back in 2017, Woods did plead guilty to reckless driving, but in a tweet by the Associated Press, authorities say they have no immediate evidence that Tiger Woods was impaired in the car crash that seriously injured both of his legs.
Nearly 3 decades of music is coming to an end for one group. Also, a new baby is on the way, so make sure to stick around after this commercial break.
Do you remember when you were told not to play with fire? You were told to be quiet. When they said caring wasn't in your generation's DNA. When they said stop playing with toys. Do you remember when they said stop dreaming? At Slippery Rock, we inspire the dreams, the noise, the caring to challenge you to be your best. Now and in the future, Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or someplace happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you're pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better.
Check out our studio!
Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Go Rock!
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or someplace happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you are pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better. Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Do you remember when you were told to put away your toys? Don't climb on that. Don't write on the walls. Go easy on the makeup. Do you remember when you were told to mind your own business and wait your turn? At Slippery Rock, we inspire the heights, the color, the caring for each other to challenge you to be your best. Now and in the future, Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
On February 14th, the former Duke and Duchess of Sussex made a huge announcement. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have finally announced that they are pregnant with their second child. Their first son, Archie, is excited that he is going to be a big brother, and both Meghan and Harry are overjoyed with the upcoming arrival of their second child. And nearly after 3 decades, the French duo Daft Punk has called it quits. They are the Grammy Award-winning act known for their computerized vocals and trademark robot headgear. There was no information given as to why Daft Punk chose to split up, but nonetheless, they will be extremely missed.
And out of this world, last Thursday on February 18th, NASA launched their 5th successful rover to Mars. The Mars rover named Perseverance was launched on July 30th of 2020, and after a long 6-month journey, finally arrived home to the red planet. And something cool to check out for yourself at mars.nasa.gov, where NASA is uploading photos, videos, and audio that are taken by the Perseverance rover. It should be noted that these images are some of the clearest, most detailed photos ever taken by NASA and seen by mankind. So, what is the goal of all this? The goal is to finally answer the ever-looming question on many people's minds. Was there or is there any life on Mars? We are all on Mars tonight. Stay blessed, stay safe. Good night.